So today my students are doing the forensic CSI investigation where they have to solve the case of Sir Edward Berkshire III. And to get them started, I kind of set the scene. I get some of that do not enter caution tape from our custodians, and outside the classroom, I put it all against the wall. I have it set up so that way there's only one way to come into the classroom through the one door. It kind of guides them in, and they have to pass that caution tape in order to come in. So once they come into the classroom, then we go ahead and we get started. I let them know what happened, what the police saw, what Robert Dursley came upon, and then we get started. Now, during this activity, they'll be working in groups. And in my largest class, I have 36 students, so I have 9 groups. To help things go more smoothly, I printed out 2 versions of this. That way I have 4 to 5 groups working within the same packets and just sharing those same information. They get about 6 minutes per station, per packet they have.
No, because the shed didn't. Antonio, Romano, and Bovine. Those are 2 that tested.
So now that my students have gone through all of the evidence reports and they've looked at the crime scene, they looked at the police reports, they've looked at the suspects and gotten their profiles to find out their personal motives that's possible there. They looked at the blood types, the DNA, autopsy report, toxicology, fingerprint analysis, blood analysis. Now it's time for day 2. And on day 2, that's when we're talking about what actually happened. And so I take my students through a presentation, and in the presentation, I add in some structured language support to help them get up, get moving, talking to other groups. So first, I'm going to take them through, and we are going to research what some of the words are. Once they do that, then they have to go through all their evidence, and I want them to identify 3 to 5 of the most important evidence they think is important to help them understand, to find out what actually happened to Sir Edward Berkshire III. We then move into the 4 corners. And with the 4 corners, they're going to go to different areas, and they're going to talk to other groups to see what did they think was the most important. Because with only 5 to 6 minutes with each packet, perhaps they missed something. So it's important for them to get up, move to a different area, talk with other people from other groups to find out what they think was important. Then we come back and I do give them a list of what they should have discovered from all of the evidences and pulling out just the important information from them. And we go through all of that. We then look at the suspects and we look at the motives that the suspects could have. And I explain to them that motive is not evidence. So you cannot convict someone for murder just because they are set to inherit some money. There has to be actual evidence to link them to the crime scene, to link them to a murder. From there, we talk about, okay, you've got all that, now let's come up with a claim. And we work on our claim sentence first. But for this, what I have them do is I have them do a numbered heads activity. And in number heads, we are going to be looking at what do you think happened to Sir Edward Berkshire III and why? So what do you think happened, and one piece of evidence as to why. We then talk as a group. I have pull a number, those students stand up, and then I randomly call on groups to share out what your group has to say. And everyone has to listen to the other groups, just in case they have something that's different from what they have. They then get to get back together, and now we're going to write our claim. So after we've heard from other groups, now we're going to write our claim, and I do give them a choice of 5 claim sentences to choose from. 4 of them have them being murdered, and 1 have him being dead of natural cause. So we go through that, and we do our evidence sentences, and I make them do 2. And again, I pull up the evidence list. Okay, these are the ones to choose from. So look at your claim. Which of these evidences help prove your claim? And we look at our sentence starters to get us started. So we use our sentence starters to start the sentence, and then we go back and we fill it in with one of the evidences. So that's what we're doing next. From there, we go into our reasoning. Now they get explained what happened. Tell me, how did he die? If it was a natural causes and you have this evidence that says natural causes, okay, explain how he died. How did he get the cuts on his head? Why are there shards of mirror on the floor? If he died, if he was murdered, how was he murdered? Where, if he was stabbed by that knife, where was he stabbed by that knife? Does your evidence support that? So that's the thing. They have to link all this together. They have to tell me what actually happened to Sir Edward Brookshire III. And then finally, we put it all together into one paragraph. Now, this is the part that I'm grading. So I don't grade their notes. I don't grade anything that they're doing in their journaling. I don't grade their rough draft. I'm just grading this last piece, and this is the piece I put in Google Classroom to make it easier for me. So all I have to do is go around, look at that Google Classroom assignment, look at this, and this is what I'm grading, their final paragraph.